Special thank you to our sponsors of Roast Reels Live, the Alzheimer's Association, and Mugs Coffee in Lebanon, Oregon. For more information about Mugs Coffee House and their amazing coffee in Lebanon, Oregon, go to mugslebanon.com. And for more information about the Alzheimer's Association and how to give to this amazing organization, go to alz.org. And thank you to Mark Flowers for your amazing support.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ingor, and I am known as the Connection Catalyst. I am not Russ. We all know that. But I just wanted to point out that our dear friend Russ Hedge is a little bit under the weather today, and so he's unable to be here with us. But it is my privilege and honor to be able to take over and help him with this episode of Russ Reels Live. The topic of this conversation is stroke of awareness. And we're going to be talking about specifically adversity and how we overcome that adversity. But also, we have a special guest. Katie is here waiting in the green room that I can bring on. But before I bring her on, I want to let you know that this month, the month of May, is, amongst other things, Stroke Awareness Month. And I'm bringing Katie on first because the adversity that she's faced, one of the biggest adversities that she's faced, has been that she's had 2 strokes. So without further ado, I want to bring Katie on. Welcome to you, Katie.
Hello, everybody. Thanks so much, Ingor, for taking over for us tonight. I just think it's really amazing how our community just takes over and helps wherever needed and wherever desired. I love it. So thanks so much for helping us out today.
It's my pleasure. I love people, and Ubuntu is my thing. Community is my thing. And I'm just happy that I'm able to be here and support Russ and you in this episode. Looking forward to our conversation. I know that it's going to be awesome. Won't you please introduce yourself and let us know who you are and what you do?
Well, hello, everybody. I am Katie, the manufacturing hype girl. I am a mom and a wife and a stroke survivor. On a professional note, I work for Manufacturers News, MNI, and I'm their brand ambassador. And I talk about manufacturing, U.S. manufacturing, and that's why they call me the manufacturing hype girl. So I connect buyers and sellers in that market, amongst many other things.
Awesome. Thank you for being here, Katie. Just want to say hello to everyone that's tuning in, that's watching us in the audience. Please drop us a comment. Let us know who you are, where you're tuning in from, and connect with one another. I know that Russ is a very heart-centered individual. So I know that you guys are all in good company. So please connect with each other and definitely network in the comments and drop us a comment and let us know your thoughts on adversity and let us know if you have any questions. We have 2 more guests that are waiting in the green room, and I think I should bring them on. Are you guys ready to come on? I should bring them on and then we can dive into your story, Katie. How about that?
Fine.
Okay. Ladies first, as Russ does. Hello, Dr. Nupi. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I was just sorting the dog out, actually. He was barking his head off. So, hi. It's so nice to be. Sorry, excuse me. I've literally come out of the shower. So I'm just like,
That's okay. Thank you for being here with us.
Oh, it's fantastic. Hi, Katie.
Hi. Thank you so much for coming, Dr. Nupi. I really appreciate it. It's really nice to be with you.
My absolute pleasure. Thank you.
So, Nupi, I'm going to bring you in the hot seat. Won't you please introduce yourself to the people, the maybe the one person that doesn't know you that's watching in the audience.
Oh, stop it. Okay, so hello. Thank you, Ingor. And thanks, Katie and Russ, for having me on tonight, today, afternoon time, your time. I'm Dr. Nupi, otherwise known as the glitter practitioner. And I'm a GP family physician in the UK. I'm also a spiritual and transformation life coach and speaker, soon to be published author. And I'm passionate about sharing and showing others, be it my patients or clients, which I've been literally doing all day today with my patients, truly how to understand and recognize your health needs from a mind, body, and soul perspective. And it's understanding what those needs are, how to, well, first of all, recognize them, realign them, and keep them rebalanced. And once you know what those are and how to do this, and you're in alignment with your own passions and purpose, you literally do become a fountain of glitter. And that's the glitter effect. And I love it. I love doing it. I love sharing it. And it's wonderful.
Awesome. You know why I'm laughing, but anyway, thank you.
Glitter makes everything better.
Yes, it does. It does. Let's bring on our the thorn among the roses.
Well said, Ingor.
I don't mean that in a prickly way. You are just here to be the center of our attention. Welcome, Dave.
Well, thank you.
I like the way she does that. I like the way she reeled it back in.
Thank you. I feel very honored to be in tonight's conversation with three lovely women that I've come to know and think so highly of. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here with us. Dave, I'll put you in the hot seat.
Sure.
Won't you please introduce yourself, and you can tell them why we call you the king of process.
Well, thank you. Thank you for leading with that. So my name is Dave Crysler, and I founded a operations consulting business several years ago and work mainly with operations leaders in the manufacturing and distribution spaces, helping them to, among other things, optimize their processes. And so many wonderful people in my community have dubbed me the king of process, and I am very blessed to be called that by so many amazing people. So thanks for again having me in as a part of this conversation. I have unfortunately lived many trials of adversity, and as we all have. So looking forward to participating tonight.
Awesome. You truly are worthy of that title, because I've never met anybody who developed a process for washing hands.
Or making coffee.
Right? Hey, man, we love you, Dave. How about we go over to the comments and say hello to the people that are watching? Ooh, oh my gosh.
There's so many people here. I just didn't see any of this.
Ken, I love these.
I know. I love Ken's comments.
Oh my gosh. Good evening, Ken. Thank you for being here. He says, savor the flavor of the awesomeness in Russ for sharing his delectable, scrumptiously, deliciously, edibly tasty good, heartfelt nuggets of wisdom, kindness, goodness, patience, encouragement, empathy, understanding, sincerity. I have to pause for a breath. Perseverance, knowledge, honesty, love, hope, courage, tenacity, awesomeness, caring, positivity, compassion, passion, inspiration, resilience, respect, appreciation, gratitude, enthusiasm, guidance, motivation with us today and every day, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
He embodies all of those.
Yes.
That was like
He certainly does.
the fruits of the Holy Spirit and then some. That was really
That's all
awesome.
for you, Russ. I'm not sure if you're watching, if you're going to catch the replay of this.
I just messaged him actually.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the honor that you invited us to be here today. Um, Kim says, Ingor, savor the flavor of the awesomeness in you for joining us today. And we have an awesome friend. Hello, Erin.
Hi.
Hi,
Erin,
Erin.
I've wanted to say this to you, so I'm going to say it now. Big burly hugs to you, Erin. Thank you for being here. He says, celebrating you. And of course, we have some comments, some networking in the comments. I love to see this, don't you
Mhm.
guys?
Yeah.
Mm,
And
definitely.
just celebrating us. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
We said have a wonderful evening, everyone. Big burly hugs to you all.
Thank you
And
for being here with us.
yes. And we have Michael Holt. He says, hi guys. Michael from Link It. Thank you.
Hi,
Link
Michael.
Very
IT.
cool.
Sorry. Thank you for being here, Michael. So, guys, I was telling Katie this yesterday. Um, I've never met a strong person who's had an easy life,
Mm,
right? We all know that adversity makes us strong. Adversity is what shapes us into the best version of ourselves, really. So, because it is the month of May, Stroke Awareness Month, let's give the stage to Katie.
Or Dave.
No, to Katie. Katie, won't you please share your story with us? And I'm speaking specifically about what happened leading up to and during the ordeal of having the stroke, and then afterwards, please. Before we do that, we have a special someone.
Hello, Russ. Oh, we love you. So
Yes.
glad you're here.
oh,
Hi, Russ.
hi.
We love you. Thank you for being here to support us.
Oh,
Sending you so much love and blessings. Hope you feel better. Okay, Katie, the stage is yours.
Well, just to start at the beginning, I had two strokes. The one that we identified first was my last stroke, and that was in February of 2012. I was in my 30s and healthy for the most part. Nobody ever would have thought that I would have had a stroke. So there was like no red flags that I was aware of at the time. And I went to sleep one night feeling completely fine, ready to go to work the next day. And then I woke up in the middle of the night, just barfing my guts out. And I was trying to get up to go to the bathroom, and I could not. Um, I wasn't able to move very well at all. I was really scared. And the part that sticks out the most to me, and that still gets me to this day, get a little bit emotional, is when I was trying to walk to the bathroom and I couldn't stand up. It was like this feeling of being pulled down. The strength of being pulled down was incredible. I was completely unable to stand on my own. And I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, I really have done it now. I thought it was the end of the world and I was being pulled into hell. I mean, I couldn't think of any other reason why this was happening. And somehow I got to the bathroom. I remember being up all night, barfing in the bucket kind of thing. And it was just super sick, headache, but that was it. I called in to work the next day that I couldn't come in. I wasn't feeling well. And then I ended up going in the next day after that. And I walked into the office and my boss sent me home because he thought I was drunk.
oh, honey.
So I was like, I don't drink. I'm not drunk. But he sent me home anyways. And then I came in the next day and he did the same thing. He's like, I'm going to need you to leave and I'm going to need you to, before you come back, I need to see something that proves that you're not drunk. So you can go to the hospital and get like a blood alcohol or something. So I was really offended and hurt, but I did end up going to the hospital, and they kind of sent me on my way. I didn't have any alcohol in my system, so I had my clearance, but it said to stop by the doctor's office to schedule an appointment with my family doctor, and he's just on my way home, so I just happened to just run in right next door to my apartment. And he ran some tests on me, the basic, touch your fingers to your nose, stick your tongue out, do this, whatever. And he said, Katie, I think you had a stroke. So what? So I ended up getting an MRI. They found that I had 2 strokes by that point. And it was days after that we found that. So that just set me on a course now where I am now a 2-time stroke survivor. And it's, I wouldn't say an ongoing issue. I don't want to look at it that way anymore, but it is something that I'll deal with forever. I will always have to deal with, the deficits that I have.
Yeah.
But I just want to tell people about, how, recovering from strokes, and that to be aware of them and how to recognize them. This year is the first year that I've actually come out in public talking about it. So this is, my 2nd or 3rd appearance this month. So I'm glad I have you guys with me. So that's it. That's what I have.
Wow.
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 Wow. Nupi, do you want to comment on that?
That's incredible. Honestly, thank you for sharing that, first of all.
Yes.
And, that's incredible. You were being completely guided, and you were meant, that is unheard of. It's just, wow. And yeah, too bloody right, talk about it and share this, because I think so many people think this only happens to if you're very old, and that's not going to happen to me. No. And it's learning actually what signs, what things to look out for. And when you were I went in literally, because I've not switched off yet from my doctor mode. And when you were talking earlier, and I'm thinking headaches, vomiting, what the fuck? Straight into ER, A&E. What the hell is going on? And the balance, your coordination. So that is crucial. So anybody who is watching this as on, for stroke awareness.
Yes.
If I'm saying this as a doctor now, if you have symptoms that are persistent, and it's either are off balance, things aren't what they normally are, please don't ignore them and get yourself checked out seriously. Because sometimes you have pre-warning signs, which are mini strokes. And this is a new onset of something neurological, a deficit. Could be numbness, it could be a loss of vision, but it comes back within 24 hours. Anything that's more persistent than that, get it checked. Don't hesitate. That would be
what's funny about
thing.
this is that I have knowledge. I have some, minor medical knowledge, but I knew the signs of a stroke. My mom had one a year prior. I was a CNA in my 20s. I knew what to look for. And here I am in the middle of it and had no idea, no clue.
Yeah. Because you don't expect that it's going to happen to self.
And when it's happening, it's like my brain's not really working anyways. I didn't know ups and down anyways. So it was.
Yeah.
Wow.
But Katie, can you just share a little bit about the person who did a TEDx talk about this?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
You saw it?
I've seen it.
She's
it's amazing. Yes.
And she had a stroke, and she recounted the whole thing, like in her mind. And now I think, like, boy, I wish I could have been doing that, because I look back and I know, like, if I had seen me doing this, I would have known what to do.
Yeah.
But she recounts the whole thing, and I can't remember her name.
I can't either, but it's incredible. It'll come to me. It's incredible because she's in it, and she's almost detaching from her left side of the brain, the very analytical side, and really going into this blissful state of a different consciousness, a different awareness. It's such a moving TED Talk. It's beautiful.
I think the reason why I decided to actually talk about it this year was because I heard her TED Talk, and I was so moved by it. It was really emotional. It really was, but it just, it was smart too. It's awesome.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Katie. Was she aware of what was happening when it was happening to her?
Yeah. Well, I think that part of her was, right, Dr. Nupi? I
Yeah,
think.
no, she was. She knew exactly what was happening. And that was the thing. She could see, because this is what she'd been studying. She knew all of this. So she's almost looking at herself from a perspective of here, going, okay, this side of your brain is now not working properly, and your speech is now going to go. But she was cognizant of this. And that was the thing. And she recalls all of this. It's phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, it's incredible.
Wow.
Do a watch party.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
We should.
Good.
Yes.
We should.
Yes.
Okay, before we continue, I want to say hello to some people that have shown up for us.
Hello, Bob Feathers.
Hi, Bob. Thank you. He says,
Hi, Bob.
"Big friends, Boston in the house." Nice to see you. And Russ, it's my pleasure. I'm happy to be here for you.
Oh.
Gail. Hi, Gail.
Hi,
says-
Gail.
Katie, I want you to read this, please.
She says, wow, your story is so important to tell. Thank you, Gail.
It is.
Definitely.
It's your story and you need to tell it.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you for sharing it, because I know it's been a long time since it happened. And this is the first time that you're really speaking up now publicly about
Yeah,
it.
and you know more about it than anybody else. You know the nitty gritty details that I've told you. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you're able to kind of guide me along too in this.
Oh,
tonight.
I'm glad.
Yes.
Hello to you, Nicole.
Hi, Nicole.
Nicole.
Thank
I
you
love
for being
Nicole. She's so funny.
And Bob says, thanks for sharing your story, Katie.
Thanks, Bob.
Oh.
And Russ, you should be resting, but thank you for being here.
No, he's allowed. He's allowed. He's probably watching, going, come on.
Yes, he's probably
Stop.
wondering.
He's probably thinking, stop talking now, Nupi. You're not here. I
So-
get to play.
Since Russ is here, should I do this? Isn't here? Should I do this?
No.
For those of you that are watching, Russ removes Nupi from screen sometimes.
Only because it
That's
makes
why
me
she did
giggle. He does love me, really. You do.
Yes, he does.
You do. But it's I've just caught sight of Bob Feathers' comment, actually.
Yes. Would you like to
it's
read it for us, please?
Yes, my father-in-law had a TIA event, but luckily he's a doctor and knew exactly what was going on and called 911. They treated him within 2 hours, so no lasting results for him. That is exactly
Right.
that. The quicker you act,
Yes.
especially with the TIA, get yourself down to the nearest A&E if you're in the UK, ER if you're in the States, because the quicker you are seen and assessed, the better. You can get started on treatments and then just don't ignore it,
Yes.
basically.
I think I want to put Dave in the hot seat because he's been very quiet with all of
Yes,
us.
do. Yeah.
Well, I have myself muted only because my daughter is seemingly having a wild party in the other room right now, and I'm trying to spare everybody from hearing the madness that is happening at my house right now.
Let's hear it.
So,
How old is your daughter?
she's
old is
4.5.
Oh, I
That's
love
an
that
awesome
age.
party, I'm sure.
I want to be
Yeah.
in that party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be glitter and
Lots of
unicorns
glitter.
and-
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, no, that's way too much cleanup. So
Right? Oh my
for
God.
anybody
You
that
don't have a process for
for-
that?
oh, believe me, there's everything is in
I
order,
speak
and
like
that
that.
would just that would really melt my mind.
Oh.
So
Do you know what? I keep spilling glitter, actually. And it just spills onto the carpet where I get dressed and changed. And I'm like, oh, how beautiful is this? And my cleaners are like,
Party
do you want
at
us to
Dave's.
hoover this up? And I'm like, no, it looks really pretty, actually.
Bob says party at Dave's.
yeah, please keep it all there.
No,
Dr. Nupi,
no,
please.
no.
That is-
Dave, I need to
Oh.
warn you actually, because Dr. Nupi plans to travel to the States at some point. And believe me,
Excellent.
she's bringing glitter.
Yeah, I am
Excellent.
in my glitter bus, my imaginary glitter bus
Oh my
that
god.
Bobby Lee
Uh.
has offered to drive, and then I'm going to go round and swap drivers along the way because I
Oh,
can't
wow.
drive on the motorways. It scares the pants out of me. But
Yeah.
yes, I'll be sprinkling glitter, literally, physically.
Oh my
So I'll
god.
come over to yours and go to your daughter. Here you go. I've got a really good trick. Put this on your carpet. It's magical all the time.
Pretty.
Oh my god.
You're already giving me anxiety. I'm wringing my hands over here. Just thinking of the.
Oh my god.
I'm so sorry. Oh, I
Yeah.
needed a really good giggle. Thank
Speaking
you.
of adversity, right, Dave?
Yeah, it's live on Russ Reels. You want to talk about adversity? Let's just talk about sprinkling
Oh
glitter
my
all over
God.
my house.
But this is the point. It's about surrounding yourself with people who you can really, when you're going through adversity. Actually, this is a bloody great point. Sorry, Dave. I know you're on the hot seat, but laughter and
Yes.
humor and just a champagne's pit stop.
Yeah.
That is exactly what lifts you up out of adversity. Sorry. Now over to you, Mr. Dave Chrysler. Sorry, totally
So-
hijacked.
Okay, Dave.
You're doing a
let me-
great job. I mean, honestly, I'm happy to just, be on the sidelines and support all of these amazing sentiments. So,
Oh my gosh. Okay,
Tell us
Dave.
more. Tell us more.
So let's talk about adversity.
sure. Yeah.
Right. I think all of us on screen, and I think everyone that's watching, has had to face adversity at some point in their lives. And we were talking about it earlier. Adversity makes us strong. So, can you share a personal experience of a significant adversity that you faced in your life, and how did you overcome it, and what were the lessons that you learned?
Yeah. I mean, so many. So I'll try to narrow it down to one. A recent one for me, and some of you know this, but I had a long corporate career. I spent nearly 20 years working for the same company. And I was very blessed in that time. I learned a tremendous amount, had a lot of opportunities. And it's really what's allowed me to do the things that I love to do so much today. So, when I was looking for an opportunity coming out of that particular company, I actually bought into a company. So my wife and I were living in Missouri at the time. And I was looking for some new opportunities to move us along into the next stage of life. And one of those opportunities came in the form of an opportunity to buy into a business, which is what moved us back to Michigan. And with a daughter on the way and being newly married and our families both being from here, it seemed like a perfect opportunity. And the short version of the story is that it was a pretty tumultuous situation that I found myself in, and had a pretty terrible falling out with my business partner. And when I think back on that time, this was somebody that I had known for many, many years, and I developed a relationship for many years prior to being in business together. And the kind of saying of, partnerships are the only ships that don't sail, that, that is for sure the situation that unfolded for me. But, beyond that, when I think about the lessons learned and the things that I've been through, and to your point, Ingor, all of the things that we go through from those, when the seas are rough, you learn the most. If we don't go through those things, we don't have those hard lessons, it's really easy to kind of fall into a comfort zone of familiarity. And so for me, that's the takeaway. When I look back on that situation, when I look back on all of the other adversity that I've had in my life, even as a young person, It's all of those events that really have shaped me today. It's what allows me to wake up and be an entrepreneur every day today. It's what allows me to have really high highs and really amazing successes. And it's what also lifts me up when I just don't feel like doing any of it when I wake up in the morning, because we all have those types of days. So being able to go through those things and know that I was able to come out on the other side of it and, with, a bit less hair, maybe a bit grayer, it's just those lessons learned that I take away from those moments to know how strong I really am, and that, I can take that and be an example for my daughter and continue to provide for my family. So those are the things that I look to kind of get me through the bad days that we all have. Try to find the lesson in that. Try to find the positivity in that. I love to look towards the positive as much as I can, even when we're surrounded by bad things or terrible events. There's always something that you can take away from it to move yourself forward.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that. Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. What about you, Dr. Nupi?
He's
Gosh.
never had any adversity. Look at her. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
That's so not true. And actually, that's a very good point, actually, because people think it was what we said earlier, wasn't it? About just because you look like you got it all together, not that I do, but you assume people, oh, you can't have had a hard life or whatever. And it brings me back to something I read recently, and I probably can't remember. I probably won't remember all the right words, but a healer is not somebody who tells other people, this is what you must do. This is this, this is this. A healer is somebody who has lived through an experience or lived through an adversity, maybe many, many times, many lifetimes even, and you're constantly evolving. You're learning, you're evolving, you're growing, and you're healing those patterns. That is what a healer is. It's somebody who's come through and sharing then with other people. And so somebody who is sharing their story, they're sharing for a reason to help maybe somebody else. So adversity, too fucking right. I know what adversity it feels like. I've been there. Big time. Sorry, Ingor, but I'm tired. When I'm tired, I do tend to swear more, so I will just zip it. But my adversity, I think, I can see it mapped out, and I don't know. As part of my coaching diploma, one of the exercises we did was the River of Life, and I loved this. I got super duper creative on it, and I've got a thing about turquoise and blues and the sea. I'm obsessed with the ocean. And as I'm drawing my river of life, looking at the highs, looking at the lows, all the bits that were very tumultuous and like what they called in the water, whirlpools.
Like a whirlpool.
Yeah. There are key areas. And then there's like lagoons of calm and like the Maldivian Sea, and then another whirlpool and a complete just horrible way. And the biggest one for me was burnout. But looking back, there were a couple of things along the way when I was younger. But the major one for me was burnout how old was I? It was about 12, 13 years ago. And that was a huge pivot moment for me. It was the worst time ever. I was at rock bottom. I remember what it was that really shook me. It was this constant feeling that who would actually even miss me or care if I wasn't here. And I remember driving home in my car, and this was right at the rock bottom, and I thought, you know what, I could just turn my wheel this way. I think it's be easier to deal with a car accident and maybe get injured and stuff than deal with what's going here, and actually just what's the point. And that recurrent thought was what shook me and shocked me. And imagining the kids not having a mum. And then that would literally just, I was like, right, that's it, enough already. But leading up to burnout was 3 or 4 years worth of slowly, insidiously just losing my whole sense of self. And I wouldn't change it for the world, because what came from that is such an incredible amount of courage. And that's always something that's really helped me. I'm curious as well. I'm a nosy bugger. And then as I'm getting better, I'm accepting the help. I'm learning, okay, it's all right to not be okay.
Yes.
Rather than, constantly putting this pressure to be the perfect mum or the perfect doctor, be for everybody else but myself. F that.
Yes.
No, your needs come first.
Yeah.
And that, I know why that happened. I had to live and breathe it, come through it, a burnout warrior, and give it back to my patients. And that's exactly what I've done for the last 10, 11 years on returning to clinical practice. That's where the F list comes from. It's everything I learned and then discovered and then learned more.
Yes.
And would I change that adverse moment? No way, because it was my biggest learning. And, it's not easy. It never is easy. But the way I say it, I said this today actually to the patient, it's so complicated when you're stuck and all these horrible thoughts are coming at you the whole time. You don't know wood for trees, there's blocks, there's barriers every single way. And I literally F-bomb it off going, right, it's quite straightforward really. You either want to keep feeling like this or you don't. And there's no ifs and buts in between. It's either yeah or no.
Yeah.
And that no might look really scary, but you're not on your own. And that's the whole point. Whereas the other way, well, if you keep doing that, it's never going to change.
Yeah.
It's about allowing yourself the trust, the compassion for self, the courage, the curiosity. It's my gangster soul tonic that I prescribe with the F list, these ingredients that actually allow you to take those baby steps.
Yeah.
And at any point along the way, boom. And that's what lights me up, because it's showing somebody this tiny little steps, and it makes a massive difference. It really truly does. And that's the glitter bit, really, apart from let's put some on the carpet and be in this magical world, which is, I do love that too. I really do.
If we could just keep the glitter off the carpet.
Yes, please.
Keep it at your house.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, even on the hardwood floors, it's really a nightmare to clean up. So
no, but the thing is, when you've been Nupified, because you'll see a trail of glitter behind, because I'm a hugger. I'm a people's person. I love people, and I'm very tactile. So I'd be like, "Oh, hi," and then people have come away with glitter.
I can't even buy a card that has glitter on it. Dr. Nupi.
Oh my God!
It's just
seriously?
too much for me. I just can't.
Haters.
I can't take it. I like it, just for other people, Katie. That's all.
Okay.
I like it for other people.
You know what?
Not in my house.
I'm such an imp, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going
Send
to
him
send
glitter.
you shed loads and go, hi.
Oh my God.
Dr. Nupi, I have a friend who calls herself Amanda Cupcake, and she makes cupcakes, and she has glitter on everything. She puts glitter on her cupcakes and everything.
Oh, I do
and
that
then
too.
and then she poops glitter. She'll tell us about it. She's the best. See what happens when Russ isn't here, what we talk about.
That's too much information.
Okay.
Oh, you got to bring it back, Ingor.
Yes, I need to bring it back. Let's let's jump into the comments quickly and we can wrap
She's
it up.
so good, isn't she? Oh, Ingor, I love you so much. Seriously.
I
We're
knew
all
that Katie
getting-
was going to say that
Yeah.
as soon as she told
Did
us.
you?
Well,
But
she
she
does
told me
it on purpose. She says that's like her thing.
Oh, I see.
Twitter everywhere.
Oh,
I use Twitter. It's not like
Oh, I
I'm not
like.
talking about it like for
Yeah.
real.
Yes,
Okay.
I know.
Now I'm
love-
embarrassed.
I think
Scared.
Bob has captured the conversation for me with his hashtag.
Oh my gosh.
Russ is going,
Yes.
I am
Exactly.
enjoying this convo.
Yeah. Thank you, Bob. Yes.
Yes.
Inga, have you seen Russ's comment? I
We're
am
gonna-
enjoying
let's
this
go. Okay.
convo.
So Russ says yes, he's learning from our adversity, and Ever is like F
Hi,
less
Ever.
thinking.
Hi,
Thank you for
Ever.
being here. And look at this. Really?
I know. I always get, yeah.
Oh my god. Wow.
I love it.
Russ says hashtag burnout, and he says, well, look at you now, Nupi.
Oh, thanks, Russ. Thank
Bob
you.
says strength from adversity.
Mhm.
Oh. Kim says such positivity, compassion, passion, inspiration, resilience tonight. And
Oh.
look, Katie, look who's here.
Hi, Diane.
Hi, Diane. Thank you for being here.
It's
Nice
always
to
such a
see you.
support. I love Diane. Thanks for being.
Yes. Oh.
What have you spotted?
No,
A glitter
Bob is glitter bombing us. And of course, we have some networking in the comments. Diane says, splatter the glitter everywhere and add kindness with every sparkle.
Indeed.
Can we have kindness without glitter, please?
No, that's part of the glitter concoction. What is the
It's like the
production?
recipe. That's
Yeah,
part of
the
recipe
recipe.
stuff.
That's my recipe for glitter. Shall I
Oh
share
my-
it? I'll share it later.
I'm more of a fan of metaphoric glitter.
Okay, fine.
Yes,
Okay, fine. Well, it
me
is
too.
metaphorical.
Yes.
The physical glitter that is so
Yeah.
stubborn, that
Oh.
is no.
Yeah.
Right? Russ says he's enjoying the conversation. And Bob says Michigan is a no-go.
Yeah. See, I
For the
think
glitter bus
there
tour.
are some rules about that. I believe. Yes.
I don't follow
Oh my
rules.
God.
I'm a rule breaker.
Yes, she
I am. I'm actively a rule breaker.
She really is. Diane says, love you all and sending it back at you. Aw. Thank you,
Aw.
Diane.
So nice. Diane is amazing. If for anybody out there who hasn't connected
Yes.
with Diane, she is amazing. Great resource there.
Yes.
Yes, very much so.
Yes. Inga,
Yes.
may I ask you the same question?
Not right now. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In just a
yeah,
second.
Yeah.
Maybe later.
Interesting that. I'm teasing.
What would you like to ask me?
Wow.
I'm the host.
So that doesn't mean you don't get to share your story. I love Eva's comment, by the way. I need popcorn right now.
Oh my gosh. Eva, really?
So, something perhaps that you have come through that has maybe shaped you, or your take on adversity and awareness and coming through.
Like Dave said, I'll put myself in the hot seat, okay. Like Dave said, so much. I have so many experiences of adversity because, firstly, I'm from South Africa. I'm a person of color. So in the apartheid years, I was not white enough. And now, post-apartheid, I'm not black enough. Because I'm mixed race. Okay? So I faced adversity with regards to race. I faced adversity with regards to my gender. Um, I was born with congenital hip dysplasia, and I need to cough again. Sorry. So
You're fine.
I was born with congenital hip dysplasia, and what that meant was that I walked with a limp. My both my hips actually were not formed properly, and but I didn't know because the one compensated for the other. So I thought that it was only my left side, and I didn't know that it was that both needed replacing, both had like major issues until I turned 30.
Is that when you
Well,
found out?
no, I've always known that I had congenital hip
Oh,
dysplasia,
no.
but when I turned 30, I actually met a lady who had the same issue with her hips, and it was a very strange meeting because I've never met anyone before that or after who's had the same experience. And I met her. She and it's so funny because I don't often talk about it. I don't talk about it. To me, I'm just I don't know. I'm a girl from next door, right? But anyway, when I met her, she offered to help me carry my bags of groceries. And then I said, "Oh, you must have noticed that I walk with a limp." And then I actually explained it to her, and when she said, "Oh yes, I know all about that. I had the same thing." I thought that she probably didn't hear me properly
Oh,
because like I've never ever met anybody with this. In any case, she introduced me to her the orthopedic surgeon. I need to cough again. Sorry.
I wish I had something clever to say while she's away,
I'm just
but I
soaking it
don't.
in. Just soaking it in. It's
Okay.
just so beautiful. Go on, yeah, go
Um,
on.
yeah,
I
so
need popcorn.
so she introduced me to her orthopedic surgeon, and I went through an assessment through the clinic, and then I went to meet him for a consultation. Remember, I'm 30 years old, right, at this point. So if you know anything about having a hip replacement, most of the time it's geriatrics that have this done. So yeah, I'm walking in, and the waiting room is full of people that are 60 years old and older. And I sit down and I'm waiting to see the doctor. When I walk in, of course, he looked at my chart, so he's not surprised at my age. He assesses me and then he says, "Well, you've been through the clinical assessment and now I'm looking at you now, but I don't feel comfortable with moving forward with your surgery, with you having surgery." And I looked at him, I was like, "Are you joking?" Because I've had this issue all my life. However, I played sport, I swam, I was actually a provincial swimmer. Um, Breaststroke was my favorite, really. And I love water, just like you, Nupi, by the way. I love swimming. Anyway,
Me too.
back to my story. So when I was talking to the doctor, he just told me no, he doesn't feel comfortable moving forward with the surgery because I was so young. And he felt that, if he had to do the surgery now, the concern is that because I'm young, I'm going to have so much wear and tear on those joints, on the
Mm.
joints that I get replaced, that I'm going to have it done sooner rather than later. Um, so, and of course, at this point, my husband is with me and I'm crying because I had set my heart on doing this. Anyway, um, so he hands me a slip of paper and he says, "Go home, take the slip of paper, think on it for 6 months, and then call this number and make an appointment if and when you are ready, that you've really made up your mind you're going to have the surgery. So I'm crying. He leaves. I get dressed. My husband and I are walking, leaving the clinic, and I stopped just before we walked out the door. I turned to my husband and I said, "Nope, I'm not doing that. I don't need to think about this. I've been thinking about it since I was 17." So I turned right back. I went to the reception and I asked for an appointment for the following week. When I showed up the following week, he said, "What are you doing here? I know I saw you last week." I said, "I don't need to think about anything. I need to do this
Yeah.
because of the quality of life that I will have." And anyway, I think that was probably in March or April, and my surgery was scheduled for that December in 2012. That was my first surgery. And the morning of my surgery, he came into my room and he said, "I'm just coming to mark which leg I'm going to do the surgery on." And I was like, "What?" It's my left leg. Okay. Like, I didn't think at that point, I didn't think anything more than that. And he said, "Well, you do know that you need to do the other one too." And I was like, "What? Wait a minute." This is like when they're prepping me for surgery. Anyway, I did the other one in 2013, December, a year later. And I will say, I don't regret it. Not one single bit. The quality of life is, um, I don't know, it's like 100 times better, because I used to live with pain.
Yeah.
I used to live with pain. And I'm not just talking about physical pain, because as a child, when I limped, I was ostracized. I was bullied by other kids. When they chose teams to play a game, I was excluded.
And you like sports.
Yes.
Ouch.
And you know what? When that happened to me, um, I've reflected on this a lot and I've written my story, but when that happened to me as a child, I chose to forgive them because I know, and I knew that even then, I don't know how I knew it, but I knew that hurt people hurt people.
Yeah.
And there was something going on in their lives that made them treat me the way that they treated me at the time. And I forgave them and I treated them with kindness. Um, and so for me, it's important to know that everybody has adversity in their lives. Even the people who seem like everything is so great, right? Even the people that sprinkle glitter.
Or even the people that have lived 8 lives. Ingor.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my
Exactly.
gosh.
It's
So
exactly.
thank
Thank
you.
you for sharing that, Inga.
That
Oh,
was
I feel
amazing.
I'm like, oh, you're
Thank
such,
you.
such a beautiful, beautiful person.
Thank you. Thank you
You
for
all are. I'm feeling a
appreciating
lot of love.
Oh gosh,
I,
but
I think for me, the takeaway tonight, it's so interesting hearing everybody's story and you think to all of the other people that and, it had come up early on in this conversation in terms of, you think that other folks don't go through these types of things. And I think if we all just got, a bit more comfortable sharing the rough times that we have had in life,
yes,
it could really impact other people because, I think everybody feels the same way when you're going through that. You'd never say, "Oh, I'm glad I'm going through this really
No.
difficult
no,
situation right now."
Right.
But always coming out the other side of it and being able to take those lessons away, everybody is able to do that.
yes,
So yeah, it's just a challenge during the time. So I
it
think
is.
if we all share more about these types of things, it could potentially make it easier for other folks.
Yeah,
Yes, you're so right. And
definitely.
let's actually, so since we're approaching the top of the hour, people, can you believe this?
And there's us going, we should just see how we do. And I'm like, no, keep going.
I know, but
Let's
I
do what Russ does. The final last minute thingy, Bob.
no.
Oh,
Before we do that,
all
I'm
right,
putting
fine.
Katie in the hot seat because it is Stroke Awareness Month. And Katie, I would like you to please tell us, what did you do to overcome the adversity of your stroke? You've shared in different shows. I've heard you speak about it. And I'm so proud of you.
Oh.
I really am. So tell us, what did you do?
Are you talking about my physical therapy, those things?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. So where I had my stroke was in my cerebellum. So this affects things like balance and vision and things like that. So after, and then when you have a stroke, you have like one-sided weakness, or typically anyways, and I had left-sided weakness. So what I would have to go to therapy, and I have to do occupational therapy to help me speak again. You know, you have problems like finding your words. So you go through occupational therapy to learn how to move your mouth again and form words and make the connections. And then, you know, other physical therapy like walking, learning how to walk again without dragging my foot. I do vision therapy. I still do it. I have a little tool that helps me with my eyes, with my focus. I have issues. I can't cross my eyes, and you need to cross your eyes so that you can focus on things far away and then up close so you can change where you're looking. So, you know, I did all those things. I still do all those things, different kinds of therapies. But I think what Ingor likes so much about my story, and I think my favorite part of my story too, is that when it came to my fine motor skills, where I still struggle, I can't, like, my left hand doesn't work as well as my right hand, and I have a problem picking up small things, you know, those fine motor skills. And I had, for work, I had to type. I can only type with one hand. So I was trying to work on these things. And I remember sitting in the waiting room going into my occupational therapy, and I pulled out my crochet like I always had in my bag. And I started to crochet, and I couldn't crochet. And I was so sad. And I was so sad that I wasn't going to be able to crochet again. It was just something I have so much love for. It's a passion, yet I love it. So I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to crochet again, and it kind of scared me into pushing through. So I started small with crochet. I had to use my mouth sometimes to help me, but my occupational therapist said that is really was the ticket. It really, I bounced back with that faster than I probably should have, and it was probably because of the crochet is what they said. So yeah, I was just determined to not lose that. It's something that I learned from my grandmother, and it's something that I did with my mom. I didn't want to lose it. So it was so important to me to keep it. And I was just absolutely determined to do it. And that's how I am with, I think, everything now. I'm sorry, Ingor. I have a determination to be sure that I do not let down anybody that I love or care about. So whether it was crochet, or whether it was just being a mom. I was a single mom and I had two little boys. You know, these are things that I had to do. There was no backup plan. There was no one to help me out. You know, like I had parents, of course, and siblings, but they can't be a mom for me.
No.
So, yeah, I just so determined to be who I always was and who I wanted to be a good example for my kids and show them that I am capable and I can get through these things, and also to be sure that I am never letting down anybody who is relying on me. That is what drives me every day. That's me. You guys learned like who I really am tonight.
It's amazing.
Amazing. Thank you.
Yes, I love that. And Katie, since
Beautiful.
it is Stroke Awareness Month, can you tell us what are the things to look for when this is happening?
Yes, definitely. I do want to say first, because I've been wanting to say this since I said it. I hope you guys know that when I said that, look at Nupi, there's no way she ever had university, I was saying that in jest. That was exactly my point. You don't know who is struggling and with what. So we always have to be kind and give grace.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to point that out real quick so that no one took offense that that was literally my fault.
I knew that.
But as far as stroke awareness, I think Dr. Nupi can probably say it better, but there's an acronym. It used to just be FAST, FAST, but now we have BFAST, and I'm so grateful that this is now being brought out. So the B stands for balance, and that's where I came in with the issues that I had with my balance. Maybe this is why I didn't know, because BFAST is new. Eyes is for eyes. So, the losing sight in an eye, or, things just seeing a little bit different. Face would be like face droopiness. A lot of times you'll see people with a droopy face. Sometimes people can notice it on me, even still, if I'm tired or hot. You'll see like one side of my face just definitely hangs down lower than the other. Arm, so one-sided weakness, arms or legs, and I'm sure it could be both. I mean, people could probably have a stroke on both sides of the brain at the same time, I'm sure. But typically, weakness, paralysis sort of thing, it just doesn't move, or doesn't move well. Speech would be, you might notice that people are struggling to talk. They might say words that aren't even real words, or they might not be able to say a word, or they might be saying real words and they make absolutely no sense. And then
slurring.
T is slurring. Yeah. And T is probably the biggest one, time. The time is of the essence. Getting the clot busting drugs as soon as possible is the key to gaining brain function back. You just gotta get it taken care of right away. Did I get
You're
it?
amazing.
Yes, you got it. So B for balance, E for eyes, F for face, A for arm, S for speech, and T for time. Thank you, Katie.
Amazing.
You're welcome.
And thank you for bringing us together.
Today.
Thank you for bringing us together. Thank you for asking for this, because it's important. It definitely is an important topic, and I'm so glad we could do this with you.
Yes.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. So we'll go with you since you're there. What's your what are your final thoughts for everyone, and where can people find you?
Well, people can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, email, Twitter. You can find me as manufacturing hype girl or Katie McDermith. And as far as my final thoughts, I don't know. I mean, you never know how strong you are until being strong is all you have.
Yes.
And sometimes you really can only rely on yourself and your own determination, maybe. Sometimes that's all there is you have to grasp onto. But I think it's really important to surround yourself with people who love you and will watch out for you and care for you, and be a bubble sometimes, kind of guide you through life a little bit softer maybe, but face it and fight it. Whatever adversity that you are shown, you just got to face it and fight it.
I love that. Thank you. Dr. Nupi?
Oh, I'm just enjoying being in that bubble with you, Katie. I'll be your bubble girl anytime.
Oh,
seriously.
Gosh, I just love you, Dr. Nupi.
Oh, that was just beautiful. Okay, so my final thoughts are, it's what we were saying earlier about extending. Don't be curious. That's the first one. And towards other people as well, because you don't know what's going on behind this mask ever. And I think to quote Russ Johns, the king of the pirates, kindness is cool and smiles are free.
Yes.
You don't know that one smile can actually, what that might mean to somebody else who looks like they're a bit of an I'm really trying not to do that. An idiot, say, yeah. So, or really angry, or I can't say it without shouting. I mean, shouting. Sorry, I was reading comments and looking at this without swearing. It was that being a complete dickhead. All these things. What's really going on behind that?
Yes.
And understand that's just the outward thing. And holding that space from here, that can actually really help somebody else. So that's my final take on it. And where you can find me, pretty much on LinkedIn. Only I've been cocooning a little bit. I'm not butterflying around as much because of clinics and time and all of this. But you will find me every Monday on Live the Glitter Practitioner at 8 o'clock GMT, which is 12 noon Pacific Standard Time. And I didn't go ahead with my show on Monday because I was too upset and too worried about Russ, to be honest. So apologies to Kudos Matt. I'm really sorry. We will schedule again and we'll bring it back in next week thereafter. You can also find me on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, all under The Glitter Practitioner. And if you do ever want to contact, you can email me or direct message me and book a call with me on Calendly, essentially.
Since I saw Gail in the comments, so let me give you a quote that fits with what you were saying. And it's by Walt Whitman, and it goes, "Be curious, not judgmental."
Yes. Yes. It's part of my gangster soul tonic. It is.
Gangster soul.
It's true. Be curious.
I love that you have a gangster soul. I need to talk to you about your gangster soul.
Yeah, I'm like the gangster glitter goddess, a bit of a badass. It's not all fairies and light. Yeah.
Gangster glitter. Dave, it's gangster glitter. It's not
those
real
are
glitter.
bigger pieces of glitter, I'm guessing. Bigger pieces.
Yeah, easier to pick up.
It's like that big.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Dave.
Gangsta glitter.
I love it.
All these muscles here.
I know.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah,
My
getting a
face
workout
is so
today. Getting a workout
from
today.
giggling.
Oh my gosh. Dave, what are your final thoughts and where can we find you?
Yeah, final thoughts. I mean, Katie and Dr. Nupi, I think, did a great job of laying out some final thoughts. I think the one thing that I would add, two things. One thing that I saw that you had mentioned, Gail, was in the comments, and one thing that Gail had mentioned in the comments, but is part of her story, is the fact that we all have a story to share, right?
Yeah.
So to me, that's something important because it goes to the fact of needing to share that story. And the other thing, to kind of tie it back to Russ, something that I've really taken away from just how genuine of a person he is, but check in on your people, check in on the people that you care, and send them a quick note, because you just never know when you may catch somebody on a day that's maybe not in the most positive headspace or going through something that we don't know. And just that one little thing, to be a bridge and to extend that to somebody that you really care about, can go so far. So I think that's where I would leave it with people, to check in on people that and care about, and that you want to maintain that relationship with. So. And as far as where you can find me, I'm on LinkedIn pretty regularly here and there. I've been known to show up on LinkedIn. So beyond that, you can find me on my website, send me an email, all the normal ways. So thanks for having me on. It was great. And thanks to you, Katie, for sharing your story and opening up about something so personal. So
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you for being here, Dave. I just wanted to point out real quick that you are so helpful to me when I need help, when my brain gets confused. So that's another big reason why I thought you should be here tonight. So you are definitely a tool in my toolbox.
Well, thank you. Thanks so much. That's very kind.
Wow. Thank you. And thank you for the opportunity that I had to be in the driver's seat tonight.
You were brilliant.
Yeah.
Russ Hage, we love you.
Yes.
We're praying for you. And we hope you feel
Much
better
love.
soon, and that you can come and take over, please. I can't do it as well as you.
I thought you
I'm
did a
talking
great
about
job.
this, Russ.
What you really wanted to say.
No,
I can't
that
handle
was
that.
Ingor's final thoughts. That was her takeaway.
My
I
final
can't
thoughts.
handle that.
Okay,
Oh my
let me share my
goodness.
final thoughts.
Yes.
My final thoughts are: we all face adversity, and I want you to remember that. Everyone that's watching, everyone that's sitting here on screen with me, we all face adversity. Don't forget your community when you are facing that. Don't retreat and be quiet. Rather reach out. That song, Reach Out and Touch Somebody's Hand.
Yeah.
Make this world a better place if you can. No man is an island. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Find me on LinkedIn. I'm Inga van Rooi, the Connection Catalyst. And it has been my absolute privilege and honor to be here with you tonight. Be blessed, everyone. We have broken the Russ Reels rule of not surpassing an hour. So let's all say
I
goodnight.
told you,
Thank
rule
you to
breaker.
everyone. Yes, I am a rule breaker. But thank you to everyone who's been here with us. It has been an absolute blessing to be with you all. Thank you for your comments. I saw them, but I really don't like being the center of attention, so I'm not going to put them on screen. I love you though. Thank you, and have a good night. Hopefully, next week, Russ will be back with Russ Reels Live next Thursday at 4 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. EST, and midnight bloody well in Britain. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.